Yoshiharu Sagara is a high school student who one day wakes up and finds himself waking up in an alternate reality of the time of the Sengoku period. He was discovered and saved by Yoshiharu Sagara, a legendary figure from the Sengoku era. In his dying breath, he pleads with Yoshiharu to become a feudal lord in his stead. He would later discover Nobunaga Oda and realize that she was the female counterpart of the fabled war hero Nobunaga Oda. He realizes that this world is its entire separate timeline where almost every Japanese war hero is a cute girl. When Yoshiharu initially met Nobunaga, she was blunt with him as she treated him as nothing more than a foot soldier. However, as Yoshiharu proved himself over time with his knowledge of the past, she begins to see him in a new light as that respect eventually turns into a romantic entanglement. It is a truly fine premise that will keep you entertained.
この家の住人である俺が正座で君がソファーに座ってふんぞり返っている理由から。
私を誰だと思ってるの?
At our number 9 spot, we have an anime with a rather daring premise. Dakara Boku wa H ga Degina is an eki anime centralized around a teenager named Ryosuke Gaga who is rather open-minded about adult things. This was a cause for many people in his school to dislike him. He one day meets a beautiful red-haired girl who is standing alone in the rain named Lasara Ristel, who later reveals herself to be a powerful Shinigami. She forms a temporary contract with him to siphon his energy and remain in the mortal world. But when the revelation comes that the energy can be refilled only when Ryosuke thinks of certain things that will certainly get this video demonetized, their situation gets more complicated. Lasara initially thought of him as a convenient battery to stay in the mortal world. However, as Ryosuke stepped up the plate in his own unconventional way and showed up his worth from time to time, their relationship slowly turns romantic, even though Lasara still finds it concerning that the main driving force in his life is his eroticism.
Makabe-kun, どうしたの?
あだがきあき、あいつが。
The anime that took our number 8 stop is the surprising theme of revenge. Masamune-kun's Revenge is an anime centralized around Masamune Makabe. When he was just a child, he meets a girl named Aki Akadabi by chance and befriends her. However, as time passed, he prepares to ask her out and the situation turns as she rejects him while giving him the nickname Piggy for being overweight. Hurt by the term, Masamune dedicates time and effort into improving his appearance as he gets into tip-top shape. Now, Masamune finds himself attending high school alongside Aki with a new identity, as he creates the grand plan of making Aki fall in love with him, just so he can cold-heartedly reject her the same way she rejected him all those years ago. However, his plans take a turn when someone from high school sent him a mysterious letter that revealed that the sender knew his true identity. While the plot makes it seem like a drama-filled anime, it is really a light-hearted romantic comedy that is enjoyable to watch.
あくまで逆らうつもりね。ならば。
At number 7 of our list, we have Koi to Senkyo to Chocolate. The plot is centralized around Yuki Ojima, who was a member of his high school's food research club. Their main activity was eating snacks bought by the money allocated to the club by the school. Sounds like quite the lifestyle, right? Well, their lifestyle was endangered as Satsuki Shinonome shows up as a major candidate that plans to eradicate clubs like the Food Research Club. Yuki Ojima, under the guidance of the president of the Food Research Club, Shisato Sumiyoshi, take part in the election in order to go up against Satsuki. However, the path is a rough one, as Satsuki is adored by many due to her highly competent and popular nature. While Yuki and Shisato initially has conflict due to the attention Yuki was getting from other parties, both realize their love for one another as they eventually end up together. It is a well-paced story that should definitely be watched.
はい、好きっす、大好きっす。あ、ちょっと待ってくださいよ。お願いですから、少しは考えてください。
わかったから離せ。
The 6th entry of our list may sound like a parody of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but we can assure you that it is not. Okami-san to Shishinin no Kamatachi is an anime centralized around Morino Ryoshi, a high school boy with scopophobia, also known as the fear of being looked at. He finds himself inducted in the Otogi Bank, which is a club in his high school that assists students with any problem in return for their assistance with a different problem later. However, the induction itself doesn't go as smoothly, as Morino immediately confesses his love to Okami Ryoko, who is also a member of the Otage Bank. This causes a rather interesting and awkward romantic dynamic that is ultimately charming in its own way. It is an anime that should be watched for its interesting plot with romance as a side plot in mind.
あやめお姉ちゃんなんすかあららどけ変態
いやこれは
The anime on the number 5th slot of our list is a doozy. Asuno Yoichi is an anime with an interesting blend of genres, consisting of harem, ecchi, shonen and martial arts. The plot is centralized around Yoichi Karusama, a teenager who has spent all of his life in the rural mountainside, training in the style of soaring wind, divine wind swordsmanship. As his father realized that he had nothing more to teach him, he sends Yoichi off to a new dojo within city premises, so he can continue to grow strong while also gain an understanding of how modern society functions. He goes to live with the Ikarunga sisters at the dojo, where he constantly and unintentionally gets into misunderstandings that label him a pervert. While there is initial conflict between the sisters and Yoichi, he eventually earns their respect and over time, their love as well. The anime ends in true harem spirit, with no clear couple. But let's admit it, harem is a sort of romance after all.
見たことない制服だけどどこから来たんだお前なんで喋らねえの
会話めんどい
This anime takes the number 4 slot of our list as a bit more action orientated, but it still has its fair share of romance. Suseon Moyoji is an anime centralized around Benino Adashino and Rokoro in Mayado, two exorcists with the duty of dealing in all impurities that reside within Magano. Benio is a skilled exorcist recognized by many. As a situation causes Benio and Rokoro to meet, Benio realizes that Rokoro's talent rivaled her own as they both start working together. Eventually, they get titled by the masses as the Twin Star Exorcists that are destined to conceive a child who is destined to one day be the strongest exorcist to ever exist. While they have a rocky start in the beginning in terms of relationships, their constant struggle against impurities and the many enemies they come across eventually cause them to grow closer as romance blossoms. It is an entertaining shonen anime that should catch your eye.
何
ちょっと恋人になってる
は
声が大きい
なんだよ急に恋人って
The anime that takes the 3rd spot in our list may sound ordinary, but that is what makes it extraordinary. The anime is centralized around Yu Haruna, a loner that loves to use Twitter. One night, on his way to buy dinner, he stops to use his phone as he opens his camera to take a picture to upload in Twitter. However, he accidentally bumps into a mysterious high school girl named Fuga Akitsuki, who mistakenly believed that Yu was trying to sneak a picture of her panties. Fuga, angered due to the misunderstanding, immediately smashes Yu's phone and runs away, leaving behind a CD. Yu meets the girl the next day as he returns the CD. Over time, Fuga starts to fall for Yu as they start a relationship. However, things take a complicated turn when Koyuki Hinashi, who is a famous idol that many adore, reaches out to Yu and invites him to her concert. The mixture of the genres romance and music should be very reminiscent for those who are fans of Your Lie in April. But rest assured that the ride this anime provides is considerably more light-hearted than that.
なんで私がなんで勇者たる私が魔王一派の身元保証人にならなきゃいけないのよ
At number 2 of our list, we have an anime with the most unorthodox premise. Hataraku Mausama is an anime that is centralized around the demon lord Satan, who is on a quest to conquer the land of Enter Isla. However, only one stood in his way. That was none other than the hero Emilia. After a gruesome battle, she forced Satan to retreat to a dimensional portal. Satan and his army's general Elsil found themselves landing in the human world, as they end up having to learn the ways of living in such a modern world in their own awkward ways. When they come into the revelation that the human world was a world without magic, Satan comes up with a plan to assume a human identity named Sadao Mao as he starts working at a local fast food restaurant, which is none other than McDonald's. We all know that McDonald's is rarely meant to be. The romance in this series comes in the form of the hero Emilia, who follows Satan into the human world as she encounters him in his new identity. While she carried on her hatred for him due to him being who he is and what he has done to Ente Asla, she eventually starts to notice how the human world began to change him into being a better person, as the romantic elements start introducing themselves. It is a very fun anime to watch and should definitely be on the top of your lists.
窓が
At the number one spot on our list lies an anime that many consider to be one of the only romantic comedy anime done right. The anime is centralized around Ryuji Takasu, a high school student who is gentle with a preference towards housework, but with looks that contrasted his very nature. His intimidating face had him labeled as a delinquent by many. Our other protagonist comes in the form of Taiga Aisaga, who is the absolute opposite of Ryuji. She was a small student that was almost doll-like, with an explosive personality that is the complete opposite. Due to her nature, she was given the nickname Palm Top Tiger. After an incident revealed that both our protagonists had a crush on each other's best friends, it became the cause for the unlikely duo to embark on a quest to help each other obtain the love of their respective crush.
It is hard mustering the courage and admitting your feelings for someone, but what is even harder is to have your heart crushed by their cold answer of rejection. At that moment, you can say hello to childhood trauma and depression. However, sometimes they regret what they chose. And that is why for today we will be talking about the top 10 anime where girls rejected the guy and then regretted it. So before we start, be sure to subscribe and press on that bell icon as that is all to be notified of all our latest new videos. And it comes without saying, beware of the following spoilers. Coming in at number 10 is Over the Sky.
新ごめんなさい。
It's a romance anime with some supernatural events mixed into it. In this anime, the main character is Mio, and her best childhood friend is also her love interest that she has unrequited feelings for. And what does she do when he admits his love for her? She acts like a hoe and rejects him in the worst way possible, and she doesn't even bat an eye. It is later on that she realized her mistake towards him and how broken his heart was after he ghosted her and didn't talk to her after the incident. There is a reason though behind him not answering or talking to her, but I won't tell you why. You'll have to watch it for yourself. Coming in at number 9 is Osamake. Oh boy, there is no coming back from this one. The main character gathers his wits, puts on a brave face, and decides to confess his feelings to his childhood friend on stage in front of the whole school. And what happens next? You guessed it. She rejects him in the worst possible way. She freaking smiles as she rejects him. Like, who the hell does that, man? After the main character stood in shock after suffering emotional damage, he was speechless. And I bet he hoped that the floor would open up and swallow him whole. However, the girl instantly regretted what she did out of pettiness and revenge, but now she lost him for good. And what was broken can never, ever be fixed. She messed up big time, and she will learn the consequences of her actions. Coming in number 8 is The Day I Became God.
付き合ってください。届け。僕のこの。
ごめんなさい。
Damn, talk about savage, man. She didn't only just reject the poor guy, she even rejected him in seconds with a cold look in her eyes and without even flinching. My boy was still emphasizing his feelings when she destroyed him and twisted the knife in his heart. He wasn't even given a chance to show her how much she liked her and cared about her. This is one of the coldest and most savage rejections in anime history. Yet the good thing is, I am not that guy. Coming in at number 7 is Just Because.
俺森川のことが好きだ好きだ
ごめん。
The entries before were just plain savage rejections, while this anime is plain drama and complicated plot. You've heard of a love triangle, right? Well, in this anime, the guy loves Mio while Mio loves his friend, and his childhood friend Komiya loves him. These guys evolved into a love square, and the worst part is that Mio likes both guys at the same time and can't decide who she likes more. Talk about confusing, am I right? He gets rejected because she is confused. Just because she has no idea who she likes or what she wants, and she has the audacity to get pissed at him when she sees him with another girl. Why is that? Just because, of course. See what I did there? Wink wink. Coming in at number 6 is A Sister's All You Need.
僕、あやねさんのことが好きなんですけど。だから、僕はあなたが好きです。僕と付き合ってください。
ごめんね。
Young love is some of the purest and cutest love out there. No drama, no hard feelings involved. However, reality is way far from this, with the kids' hearts being broken and shattered to pieces when being rejected by their crushes. This guy is one of those poor instances where he admitted his long love for his best friend. However, instead of her reciprocating his feelings and things ending with the happily ever after cliche, she smashes his dreams and hopes of having a girlfriend. Adding insult to the injury, she uses the sister card on him as well, which obviously pisses him off, and tells her then and there that he doesn't need an older sister, and that she needs to leave for good and never return. He exiled her from his heart. However, the pain still lingers inside. Coming in at number 5 is Amagami SS.
森島先輩のことが好きです。
立花君って思ってたより男らしいんだね。でもダメ。
She didn't only reject him once, but twice, and she even played on his emotions like a freaking fiddle. After Tachibana gathered the strength to admit his love for his senpai, she surprised him with her complete and utter rejection, explaining that she likes men older than her. And when he confronts her about it, she denies it and says that she likes a strong, charismatic guy, as well as keeps teasing him about a second confession where he will still be rejected and crushed by her once again. However, after she rejects him twice, she starts to develop feelings that lead to multiple endings depending on the requirements, well, they need. It's based off a game. It makes sense that each character has a best ending, good ending, and a bad one. Coming in at number 4, My Little Monster.
それは友達的な意味で。
性的な意味で。
ちょっと待って。
Now this is what I call healthy teenage love. Even though this guy admitted his feelings to her almost immediately and got rejected, he didn't sulk or become toxic. Instead, he continued being her friend and kept on telling her that she will fall for him eventually. With time, she began to see that this guy is much more than just a delinquent troublemaker, and that there is a truly caring, helpful, and nice guy behind that mask of toughness. Over time, she begins to experience feelings she's never felt before, and develops them more and more until she admits to him that she loves him too. The ups and downs they face in their relation are quite enjoyable and drama-free for once, and I believe that this is the best part about this show. And I love it for that.
おい。雫はどこだ?
Coming in at number 3 is Domestic Girlfriend.
俺ずっと先生のことが好きだったんです。
Oh boy, this is one hell of a complicated situation that these characters were thrown into. This guy is in love with his teacher and had a one-night stand with her sister. Before knowing it was her sister, that is. Only to be surprised that his father is getting remarried and his new siblings are none other than his sensei Hina and her sister Rui. One thing leads to another, and Hina and the main character find themselves on the beach spilling their guts, and suddenly the main character admits that he loves her. Only for her to grab him into the water to commit a double suicide, since that's what their relation will lead to. They will lose everything. However, later on, she comes to regret her decision as her feelings towards him keep growing more and more to the point she can't hide it anymore, and admits her love to him. And this time, there was mutual feelings rather than a cold rejection. And they lived happily ever after. Well, maybe not. It's an anime after all. Coming in at number 2 is Golden Time.
たまた本当は好きなんですよね。ないない。あんなやつ全然好きじゃない。
Damn, this anime story is complicated and sad. It's sad in a good way, though. Well, kinda. I mean, seeing as the main character got amnesia and lost his memories, forgetting all about his childhood friend and love interest, only for him to remember again all his memories before the accident, and forgetting what happened afterwards, and eventually he remembered everything. And if you're not dizzy yet, this will make you dizzy. Before he lost his memories, he loved Linda, and was waiting for her to come and confess her feelings on the bridge where he had his accident. Unfortunately, she is late that night and blames herself for his predicament and memory loss, deciding to become his guardian and watch over him from now on, even if he doesn't remember her. In that time in law school, he dates Coco, a rich girl with beauty rivaling that of princesses. Then they break up, and some shenanigans happen. Memory loss, memory gain, bullshit, just the usual. And the next thing you know, he is back with Linda, even though she told him back then that her answer was a no. But she only did that because he was dating Coco. Okay, I'm tired. Let me take a breath. Let me take a breath. Wait, oh my god. Help me. Anyways, here's a word from our sponsors. Oh god. Welcome to Raid Shadow Legends. Where? I bet I got you there, didn't I? Didn't I? No? Okay. Back to the subject then. Eventually, and after all the shenanigans are resolved, I swear this is worse than time travel, she reveals that her answer was always yes, yes, yes. And they live happily ever after. The end. At this point, maybe you don't even need to go watch it. I just told you the entire thing. But you know what? It's still a pretty damn good anime. I suggest watching it. And number 1 goes to Plastic Memories. This is harsh. I have no idea who to side with on this one. The guy or the girl? You can clearly feel the pain in Tsukasa's face after he got rejected by the cute, childish-looking Isla. However, she had a very important reason for rejecting him, and his truly heartwarming feelings that he had for her. Without going into much spoilers, she was gonna leave very soon. That is why she decided to stay away from him as much as possible, so that she doesn't hurt him any further. But with the persistence of her nosy friends that don't know how to mind their own business and love to gossip, she was able to finally admit to him how she truly felt towards him, revealing the reason she wanted to stay away from him as well. I won't tell you why, no matter how much you ask to find out. You better watch this fun series, and trust me, you'll enjoy it.
Number 10, Jitsu wa watashi wa.
悪いが、私のことをジロジロ見るのはやめてほしい。私にその気は全くないのだから。
What happens when you're rejected by an alien? Yeah, this anime happens in a world where supernatural things exist. We have vampires, demons, espers, aliens, you name it. And turns out all of the species in this universe want to fall in love with this guy. So what's so special about him? I don't know, but the hating and rejection part comes when the blue-haired girl, who is actually an alien, mistakes the main character's request as a love confession. And that doesn't go well.
委員長は宇宙人ってことでいいんだよね。
さて、何のことやら。
もうその姿で何言われてもね。
Apart from aliens, we also have vampires, and our main character has a crush on this vampire girl. This also feels like that perfect high school anime. You've got girls rejecting guys and regretting it, aliens falling in love with the boy, and vampires who switch genders. And no, I wasn't kidding with that last one. Number 9, Over the Sky.
ごめん。
急にどうしたの？何かあったの？
何もないよ。
あらたおかしいよ。急に人が変わったみたいにさ。
What exists above the sky? No, not heaven. Turns out it's a crazy world filled with crazy creatures. Here we follow a girl called Mio who has feelings for a guy called Arata, but when the fortune teller ruins their relationship, Mio decides to question her feelings and then runs away from Arata. But then she goes home and realizes, hey, perhaps I shouldn't have insulted the guy I had a crush on. That's like the world's dumbest move. But when she goes to tell him about this, Truck-kun kills her. Oh wait, this time it's a car. Over the Sky's world building feels pretty shallow and generic, but this isn't a show you should go to experience some fantasy adventure. It's something to watch by focusing on the characters and how these two grow in their own way and realize each other's feelings. Number 8, They Are My Noble Masters.
プレッシャーにならん。父を尊敬するがゆえに、久遠寺万象の娘として恥ずかしくない私であろうと努力し続けてきたのだ。
Wants a master-servant relationship? Then wait no more, because this story is about one guy deciding to serve an entire household. Here's the thing. This guy and his sister had an abusive father. They escape the house, and you realize you need money to live in this world. The guy saves a noble girl and decides to become a butler in the household along with his sister. But where does the rejection come in? That comes around when we start to focus on the relationship between the eldest sister of the noble house and our butler.
シンラ様はシンラ様のやりたいことをやりたいようにやれば
気楽に言ってくれる。調子に乗りすぎたな。
Both have their issues, both have dark pasts, and that's why the initial hate from the girl feels more natural than other anime. She does it not because she's shy, but because of her own worldview. There are serious as well as a lot of comedic parts in this anime, so watch this when you need a break from those tension-filled romance stuff. Number 7, Asu no Yochi. Can a samurai live with a bunch of girls in the same house? Yeah, he can. Has this concept been done a billion times? Yes, it has. What makes this anime different from all these billions of anime shows? Actually, nothing. This is pretty much why you should watch this anime. If you're a fan of the one guy many girls trope and want to watch something lighthearted and funny, then this is the show for you. And don't expect anything original except for the samurai's weird Japanese accent.
陽一さん、お連れしたわよ。なんだよ、おっせえな。お腹すいたっす。
はじめましてでござる。
Here we have Yoichi Karasuma, a samurai who trained under the mountains. After knowing he has excelled in everything, his father sends him off to the city to train with the current assistant head of the Ukiya Divine Wind-style swordplay school. As it turns out, this doesn't have one girl but 3 others. And you already know where this is heading. Just watch the show, will you? Number 6, My Little Monster.
しずく足がすくんで動けね
なんでこんなとこいるのよ。
This show is about a monster who falls in love with a girl. Nah, I'm just kidding. This is the same old romance story where the official bad boy of the school falls in love with the nerdy girl. What's the central message of the anime? Well, it proves that opposites attract. About a girl named Shizuku Mizutani, a person who is apathetic towards her classmates and only cares about grades. But her view about life starts to change when she meets Haru Yoshida, a guy who confesses his feelings to her in the first episode itself. My Little Monster presents a nice love story in a nicely packed 13 episodes. The main female character feels different from your usual shoujo anime leads, so the romance between the couple is going to be interesting to watch. Number 5, White Album 2.
学園祭の実行委員長の北原さん。
小木曽
ちょっとひどいですよ、委員長さん。
What do we have here? Love triangles, the angry girl, the innocent girl, the dumb guy who looks like every romance main character ever, a high school setting used really well, music. Did I mention there was a love triangle? Oh, we also have cheating. But like I said, in many of my videos, instead of making sure how much of a jerk our main character is, this show tries to reveal the thought process of each character, making the whole scenario look like a love triangle instead of a train wreck with heavy casualties.
どうしてそう思うわけ？
いや多分気のせいだ忘れてくれ
めっちゃ興味あるんじゃん、やっぱ。
Just like many other romance anime, the thing that holds this show together is the characters. There's also a lot of good music in here too, so it's like Your Lie in April, but with less sadness and more love triangles. Make sure not to confuse this anime with original White Album, which is completely different anime with completely different characters. Number 4, Fuka.
盗撮？
これはまだ
Fuka is centralized around Yu Haruna, a loner that loves to use Twitter. That alone should tell you how much bad luck this guy has. One night on his way to buy dinner, he stops to use his phone as he opens his camera to take a picture to upload to Twitter. However, he accidentally bumps into a mysterious high school girl named Fuka Akitsukui, who mistakenly believes that Yu was trying to sneak a picture of her.
それ、今やってる映画だよね。
秋月か大きな声出さないでよびっくりするから
私が本気出したらこんなもんじゃないよ。
Yeah, then we pretty much go around the usual plot threads where a misunderstanding turns into feelings of love. Fuka follows a lot of common tropes, but at least it knows how to execute these tropes the right way. So what's the moral of the story? 1, don't use Twitter. 2, perhaps accidentally bumping into a girl on the road can give you a girlfriend. Number 3, Amagami SS.
僕は昨日先輩にきっぱり振られたのに、こうして普通に話したりしていいのかなと思いまして。
なんで？
え？
私、人付き合いって彼氏彼女だけじゃないと思うの。
Amagami SS is like a buffet, but you travel back in time to check out each item. For those who don't understand that, it means this anime was based on a visual novel. Our main character here is Junichi Tachibana, a guy who got stood up during a date on Christmas and has been hiding his feelings ever since. But things start to change when he meets several girls who are interested in him.
森島先輩のことが好きです。
そうなんだ。ちょっとびっくりしちゃった。でもダメ。
Amagami SS follows what would happen to our guy Junichi if he chose a particular girl. But where does the girl with issues come in? This happens when the guy confesses his feelings to his senpai. Yep, she's one of the girls who plays the harder to get trope and rejects him, and you'll have to watch the anime to find out what happens. Number 2, Rainbow Days.
おい、てめえ閉めんなよ。
うっせえ！何しに来たんだよ！帰れ！
何ってお見舞いだろ。
近所迷惑なんだよ！帰れ！
We've got a bunch of guys and a bunch of girls. All of the guys like at least one girl, so who's the unlucky guy who loves the tsundere? It's the red-haired dude over here, and he's way too obsessed with the tsundere of the group. This blue-haired tsundere is someone who lies in the far corner of the tsundere meter, but our red-haired guy doesn't give up. And unlike the other guys, he doesn't even use the power of friendship.
好きだわ。
今ので？ずっと無表情だったけどあの子。
俺のこと覚えててくれただけで今すごく嬉しいんだよね。
Rainbow Days is so great because it explores the relationship between different couples. And some of them are already dating while the others are still getting to know each other. You've got the innocent naive couple, the tsundere and the bad boy couple, and even the extra forward girl and numb boy couple. So if you don't like the bad boy and the tsundere, you can always root for another couple. Number 1, Vanitas no Carte.
だが覚えていろ。次は必ず殺す。必ず貴様を殺しに来てやる。
おお、君から会いに来てくれるのか。
Vanitas has one of those confusing premises where they try to shove a lot of concepts to you at once. But I need to admit that this is one of the best anime I've watched this season. And one of the reasons it's good is because of the cast of characters. The main character looks like some cousin of Dazai from Bogu's Stray Dogs. And the main girl of this show is a vampire who we think is some badass warrior, but turns out to be a perverted version of Jeanne d'Arc.
さて、少しここで待っていてくれジャンね。
どこへ？
トイレ。戻ってきたらきちんと聞かせてもらうぞ。
The romance starts with our girl almost wanting to kill our main character, but after a surprise kiss and some flirting, he actually manages to make her fall in for him. Now that's what you call skill, folks. The next time someone asks your favorite romance anime main character, show Vanitas, because he made a bloodthirsty vampire warrior fall in love with him. These are the anime where the guy says, I love you, and the girl says, sorry, I love Amelia. Oh wait, did I switch sides? Anyways, here are 10 romance anime where the girl rejects the boy but regrets it. Let's go. Number 10, Amagami SS.
好きです。僕、森島先輩のことが好きです。
Amagami SS is that harem anime you cannot label as a harem. Why? Here we have the main character of the series dating a different girl in each arc, so it's a win-win situation for everyone. Our main character here is Junichi Tachibana, a guy who got stood up during a date on Christmas and has been hiding his feelings ever since. But things start to change when he meets several girls who are interested in him. But when one of them plays the harder to get trope and rejects him, you can see how much pain this poor guy feels.
でもダメ。私、年上で頼りがいのある人が好みなの。
そうなんですか。
The senpai here says that she likes older guys more than him, which is like a slap in the face. But as usual, the rejection gods kick in and make sure our girl regrets that choice later. At least this guy got girls way more easily in the other arcs.
そうなんだ。立花君って思ってたより男らしいんだね。
Number 9, Koikimo.
俺のやってること迷惑ですか？
私、お花とかもらっても どうしたらいいか困るというか、正直迷惑というか。
Quirky is not for everyone, and a lot of people might feel uncomfortable watching it since we have an older guy trying to date a high school girl. And let's just say, the show doesn't start off with some Higi hero vibes either. And as you guessed, the rejection part comes in when our high school girl straight up rejects the businessman and tells the guy to mind his own business.
いい記念になるんじゃないかな。どうする？
But this guy is your average playboy like Bruce Wayne, so he isn't going to accept no as an answer. It might take some time for the two to get along, and it isn't a short and sweet process, but the two get together in the final episodes. One issue of this show can be the methods our main character uses to flirt with the girl, and if you move past that, you can get one of those rich bad boy and innocent girl love stories that might have definitely gone under your radar. Number 8, Masamune-kun's Revenge.
あんたなんか好きにならないわよ。探索のくせに。
You know you have to stay away from a guy when he has a laugh like Light Yagami.
あら、マー君ご機嫌ね。キモ。
No, this guy isn't some bastard child of Light Yagami. He is none other than Masamune Makabe. When he was just a child, he met a girl named Aki Aragaki by chance and befriended her. However, as time passed, he prepares to ask her out, and the situation turns as she rejects him while giving him the nickname Piggy for being overweight. Hurt by the term, Masamune decides time and effort into improving his appearance as he gets into tip-top shape.
そして奴が本気になった時が最後。俺の正体を知らしめ、最高の形で捨ててあげよう。名付けてデッド・ア・ラブ作戦。
Now Masamune finds himself attending high school alongside Aki with a new identity as he creates the grand plan of making Aki fall in love with him just so he can cold-heartedly reject her the same way she rejected him all those years ago. Number 7, Kashimashi, Girl Meets Girl.
でももしよかったら僕と。
Here we have a shy boy who likes to mind his own business but has a crush on a certain girl. But the girl becomes an evil little witch and decides to reject the boy.
ごめんね。
So what does he do? If you've been following the story of the rest of the guys in this list, then you'll probably say, he's going to take his short and sweet revenge, but nope, our guy is too innocent for things like that. So he decides to go to the place where they first met and lament about their tragic love.
まだ言える。いい恋ができますように、お花さんたちが元気に育ちますように。
And then a shooting star turns this dude into a girl. Yes, you heard that right. This guy turns into a girl and now needs to find a way to become a boy again. If you've watched anime, I'm sure you've heard more weirder premise than that. But after watching this, it'll definitely go on your top 5 most weirdest anime premises list. Number 6, Scum's Wish.
茜さんは中学の時の俺の家庭教師で、それがまさか俺の通う高校で先生になるなんて。 すっげえついてるって思ってたんだけど。
Most modern romance anime isn't very realistic when it comes to the relationship between the characters, but Scum's Wish is an exception. We all know what jealousy feels like, but this is one of the moments where jealousy punches you in the gut and tells you it's time you did something to take revenge, or do something for your own self-comfort.
興味のない人から向けられる行為ほど気持ちの悪いものってないでしょ。
Scum's Wish involves Hanabi Yasuroka and Mugi Awaya. Both of them fall in love with their teachers, but when they eventually see the rift between them and their love interests, the common pain forces them to seek comfort within each other.
見えないから。なるべくたくさん思い出さなきゃ。たくさん。
This show is more mature than many other romance anime in this list, but it sure knows how to convey all those emotions filled with jealousy really well. Number 5, Kakurio.
あやかし。鬼。でもこの顔、どこかで。
気分はどうだい？
Who needs some food with a romance anime? Kakuryou might involve devils, demons, and girls trying to pay off their debt, but more than any of it, it involves food. Here we meet Aoi Tsubaki, a girl who can see spirits of the hidden realm. But she has no time to worry about spirits because her grandfather owes the ogre god known as Udana 100 million yen. Now she has two choices. She has to either marry the ogre god or cook some great food in Udana's inn and pay off the debt. Being the wise girl she is, she chooses the second option, and now she has to be the official chef of Udana's inn, and little does she know the ogre god is more handsome and better than she thought. If you want an anime that gives Kami-sama kiss vibes, then this is the show for you. Number 4, Golden Time.
おめでとう。
And we got that good old amnesia striking us back again. Yes, the main character here has the usual no memory, so no personality syndrome, and serves as only a background character in the first 2 to 3 episodes. Events happen around him, but he's numb. But then he proposes to the girl by the 7th episode, and only then his character finally gets the spotlight. Did you know that Golden Time was written by the same person who wrote Toradora? Even though you might not get some heart-wrenching drama in the series, the rejection will hit you hard, and for some time you really think the girl deserves the treatment of the main character. The main characters of this series also feel very original, and if you are someone who is tired of the usual romance tropes, then this will definitely be refreshing to watch. Number 3, Just Because.
説明になってないっての。
やっぱそうだ。謎の転校生。なんだろう、あの二人。
Just Because might have a bit of a slow premise with some scenes being dragged out, but it knows how to hit you right in the feels with the drama. It involves a guy coming back to his old high school to finish his 3rd year, but his old friends have their own problems, and if he comes back, some old painful memories are going to resurface. Just Because has a bigger main cast than the rest of the romance anime I spoke of, but it knows how to keep you hooked with some new and original romance anime tropes you might not have seen before. And like I said, it is heavily character-centric, so be ready for some good drama along the way as well. Oh, and don't expect this anime to be all laughs and cheers. Number 2, Domestic Girlfriend.
今日から一つ屋根の下だね。
そうっすね。
今さら弟ができるなんてワクワク。部屋に入ってエッチなもの探しちゃおう。
やめてください。
Well, this one's pretty popular, isn't it? What should we call this? That anime with the guy and his sensei? Or that anime with the short blue-haired girl that was about to get rejected? Or that anime with the most complex family drama? Domestic Girlfriend involves the main character's school teacher and his stepsister coming to live in the same house. Oh, and his teacher is also his stepsister. So he has 2 stepsisters, and one of them is also his teacher. Dear God, my head's hurting already.
終わりにするから。
The anime might not have done enough justice to the manga except for that banger of an opening, but instead of complaining, why don't you go read the manga to experience what true depression looks like? The author of Domestic Girlfriend knows how to weave some great tension and show how a love triangle can kill you from the inside. Number 1, Orange.
またにしよっか。
平気だよ。かけるの都合のいい時間で。
悪いからまた今度にしよう。
The whole name of this anime is going to feel weird until you come to a certain point in the story. But this is the all-rounder when it comes to characters, drama, romance, and a rejection that'll hit you in the ribs.
これ使う？
大丈夫。
消しゴムは？
いいよ。
Orange involves time travel, but not the good old kind of time travel machine time travel, but the main character getting a letter from her future self kind of time travel. Her future self tells her to be wary of a boy named Kakeru Naruse, the newest transfer student in the school. Somehow, this boy is the key to make her life more happy or more miserable. Like every sane person, our girl Naho panics and tries to think what to do with this boy named Kakeru. And let's just say this guy isn't the easiest person to deal with. If you love some drama that is going to make your heart ache, plus a nice love story inside high school, then this is the show for you.
We kickstart our list with Masamune-kun's Revenge. Sometimes childhood trauma can create wonders, even stronger than the plot armor. Our MC Masamune Makabe is a perfectionist and an egotist. When he was a kid, you won't believe this slim-looking guy was extremely ugly. Yet he mustered the courage to confess to the most beautiful and popular girl of the school. Stupid move, right? Of course, the outcome would be a harsh rejection and a nickname. Long story short, back to the present. MC is now the most popular guy in the school. Still, he can't bear the shame he once experienced. Decide to make the girls suffer the same. However, Aki isn't any ordinary girl who falls for anyone so easily. Thus, it began the story of revenge and hopelessly falling in love with the same girl all over again. Moving on, next we have is the case study of Vanitas. The underdog of 2021. Has anyone heard of this name before? No? Then you sure need to have a look at it. Our MC Vanitas is the most interesting character. He had strong hatred towards vampires, but still decided to save them whether they like it or not. For that, we get to see an awesome pairing between Vanitas and Jean. They might not get along every time they see each other. However, our MC left no chance to tease her. On one occasion, MC gave her a choice to drink his blood, to get more powerful and save her young master Luca. Jenna can't stand by the fact. How can a simple human be this irritating? The chemistry between them is intense. Make sure you are watching it in the right place, at the right time. Watching them is surely an organic experience. Number 8. Just because. Can someone tell why every dramatic romance story takes place during the final high school year? Can't you plan anything prior to that? Senior going to step out to the uncertain future. Well, the person they cherish the most will remain in touch. That is the main focus of Just Because. Our MC Ida never stays in the same place for more than a year. Due to its father's line of work, has finally got the chance to move back to his hometown. His comeback brings a lot of painful feelings to others, especially when he meets Haruto, his childhood friend and the main focus of our video. Haruto's future is secure after graduation, left with only one thing, a confession to someone he likes. And how did it go? I'll let it be a spoiler for this list. Number 7. Amagami SS. Anime completely based on rejection. How can we skip it? Especially for this list. Our MC Junichi is living his whole life on rejection, ever since childhood. However, in his high school days, love struck him again. But not with one, instead he is interested in 5 beauties of his class. By overcoming his phobia of rejection, he decided to confess Haruka, the school's most popular girl and MC's first love interest. We get to see a happy ending with her, but it was all part of Genjutsu. Yet our MC didn't give up. After all, he still has more options to pick, and maybe he will be lucky with either one of them. The story is divided into short arcs. Consider it a pack of rom-coms in one single anime. Number 6. Sing Yesterday for me. Love is in the air, but not for our MC Rikuo, who can't look at the beauty in front of him and keep chasing after his broken heart. Our MC is a 26-year-old graduate, not doing much, just living a simple part-timer life. However, things change when he meets a teenage girl named Haru, constantly being bugging to be friends with our MC. But Rikuo has a crush on his classmate Shinako. Things get interesting when MC finally decides to confess. As a result, completely being friendzone. Well, when you keep running your own thing by your own 2 hands, things like that happen. Now the only option left is the teenage girl. After that, the story will take a few dramatical turns here and there. Either way, it is a good slow-paced mature romance, if you're into it. Number 5. Orange. First day of the school year. Our female lead Nahode can't go any worse as she is late. However, she found a weird letter. That changed everything, because the sender is none other than herself, but from 10 years in the future. At first she think of it as stupid prank, like who sends a letter. Instead, just go back by itself and change everything to the need. Still, Naho read it out of curiosity. Turns out all the events that were mentioned started happening. The new transfer student she will be meeting, becoming a close friend. If possible, I would write a letter to my younger self. Don't go for a college degree. World's gonna end miserably anyway. But for the case of Naho, it's all related to a single person, and her future self is begging not to make the same mistake again. I'll let you guess what the mistake was. Number 4. Asamake. It's a golden rule in anime. MC has a lovely caring childhood friend. who will do anything for him. But our MC heart is always on another track. Like our MC Suharu is confessed by his childhood friend Kuroha, as our MC eyes are on someone else. He rejects her with a sister tag. Now our MC goes to confess his feelings to the girl he loved the most. His classmate Shiroku Shao. Turns out she already has a boyfriend. From here on, MC and his childhood friend work together. As they become closer, our MC realizes his own feelings for Kuroha. So at the climax of their plan, he confesses to her in front of the whole school. In the end, Kuroha rejects Suharu. Well, not the happy ending we all are waiting for. Number 3. Rent a girlfriend. Sometimes rejections are not that bad, and at least for this I am not against the rejection. Same goes for our MC Kazuya, who is one unlucky guy, maybe due to his own weirdness. In the first few minutes into the series, our MC got dumped by his girlfriend. We still don't know the full details, but who cares? Mommy-chan is happy and Kazuya is breaking some sweat, even in depression. By one hand, he entered a dating app. Meet Chizuru, the best girl of 2020. However, one thing leads to another, and Chizuru became our MC neighbor. See, plot armor can sure make wonders. Ultimately, it will lead to Kazuya X being jealous and wants our MC back at all costs. Kazuya, be a man and don't go back. Number 2. Koikimo. With all the age gap controversy being aside, love can be found at any point of time. After you don't get an underage girl all the time. Not until you meet our MC Anskusaru, a genius playboy philanthropist, who seems to have it all. The reality is our MC is not happy with what he has. But it all changed after one staircase incident. He got saved by a high school girl from falling. The next thing he knew, the girl was none other than his little sister's friend. On the first meeting, MC confesses his true feelings, which obviously is considered a crime, and Echika rejects him immediately. But that only makes Ru want Echika even more. Thankfully, these feelings are not handled by MC's little sister. You know what I mean, right? Instead, she helped both to reach a mutual decision. Last on, we have Higehiro. Our MC Yoshida is a true gentleman, who not only earns my respect, but all the girls around him as well. After all, he was aiming for one and got many in return. From the looks also, he is quite handsome, at least for a programmer, surrounded by beautiful women. And here I am, being tired of greeting my old-aged boss. Anyway, our MC Yoshida is in love with her boss. One day, gather the courage to confess his true feelings to her. In the end, he got rejected straight ahead. To celebrate the occasion, he decided to drink all night. Lucky for him, because that decision made him hit the jackpot. On her way back, our MC meets a runaway high school girl named Seiyu. And then after both started living happily with each other, for most of the part. At least unlike other MC, he is giving her a chance to fully grow. If you also think the same, then leave a comment #respect for our brother Yoshida.
Number 10 is Shuken Friend.
記憶が消えると言った藤宮さんの言葉に嘘偽りはなく、俺と過ごした1週間は藤宮さんの記憶から完全に消えていた。
If you've ever been friend-zoned by a girl, then remember this guy got friend-zoned over and over again. Yuki Hase finally gets the courage to speak to his crush, but soon he finds out that the girl he liked is not someone who is very cheerful. Seriously, look at this girl's face. It's like someone forced her to watch School Days and then played the ending on repeat.
藤宮さん、ほとんど食べてなくない？
今日はちょっと食欲なくて。
大丈夫？
大丈夫。
But as time passes on, Yuki finds out why. Apparently the girl undergoes a memory reset at the end of each week. You asked her out last week? Sorry buddy, you got to ask her out again this week. Oh, you postponed your date to next Monday. Too bad, because she'll forget it by next Monday. Amnesia is an anime trope done to death, but this show knows how to balance it out with romance. Now, don't go to watch the series expecting a fast-paced romance. Number 9, Wolf Girl and Black Prince.
はあ？何犬ってそんなのいいわけないじゃん。絶対嫌だよ。
嫌なら別にいいけどね。うっかりポロッと喋っちゃったらごめんね。
Do you need the male version of Makima? It's this guy right here. Here we have Erika Shinohara, who has friends who have boyfriends. And afraid that she'll be ignored by her clique, she takes a random photo with a stranger and claims that she has a boyfriend as well. But as it turns out, this random stranger is the most popular boy in the school and not a person with a very kind heart.
いいよ。 要するに彼氏のふりをすればいいんだよね。
Turns out this guy has some pretty weird requests, and it's natural for the girl to hate him. He agrees to be Erika's fake boyfriend, but in return, she must do anything he says. Now, judging by the premise, you can already feel where this show is going. Think of a more tamed version of 50 Shades. Number 8, My Stepmom's Daughter's My Ex.
そういう受動的なところが嫌いだったのよ。クソオタク。
そういう自分勝手なところが嫌いだったんだよ。クソマニア。
Let's see what we have here. We have a guy whose father got remarried. Then we have the remarried woman's daughter, who's this guy's stepsister. And the twist here is that the stepsister is his ex-girlfriend. Since most relationships don't end on a happy note, you can pretty much see why this anime starts off with the two hating each other.
なんだよ。
悔しくないの。あなた舐められてるのよ。
僕に群がっている連中のことか。
私に直接話しかける勇気がないから。
If anyone wants to know the longer story, then this is about Mizuto Irido and Yume Aya. These two dated in middle school and started fighting over the most trivial things and then broke up. But a few years later, when Irido's father remarries, the guy meets his new stepmom and her daughter. It's got the good old family drama you see in a lot of these animes like these, and I could say in terms of family drama, it delivers what it promised. Number 7, White Album 2.
学校側が勝手に決めたことだ。
ここと引き換えに普通科に移らされたのか。
またうざい説教しに来たのか。
説教なんかしない。俺たちの軽音楽同好会に勧誘しに来たんだ。
Remember, kids, this is completely different from the original White Album. And we've got a love triangle. You know, the good old scenario where a main character has to choose between two girls. And one of the girls originally hates him, and there's some cheating going on too.
感想とか言ったら蹴飛ばす。
ごめんね。ちょっと遅れちゃった。
Now, by cheating, I don't mean the school days type of cheating. Instead of making sure to show how much of a jerk our main character is, the show tries to reveal the thought process of each character, making the whole scenario look like a love triangle instead of a suicidal love drama. The whole story revolves around these three characters who are in a music club trying to understand their feelings for each other. The characters also feel really well written, so if you love a good character drama, give this one a go. Number 6, Ambition of Oda Nobunaga.
あんたのおかげよ。
ちゃんと顔見て言えよ。
うるさいわね。ほら、さっさと座り。帰るわよ。
Do you like how Japan turns war heroes into anime girls? Yeah, this is that kind of show. In The Ambition of Oda Nobunaga, we meet Yoshiharu Sagara, a high school student who one day wakes up and finds himself in an alternate reality of the time in the Sengoku period. Here, he meets Nobunaga Oda and realizes that she was the female counterpart of the fabled war hero Nobunaga Oda. He realizes that this world is its entire separate timeline where almost every Japanese war hero is a cute girl.
もはや生きているのが罪。この場で手打ちよ。変態だね。覚悟。
There's a lot of fighting in here, including some politics here and there, but the show's main focus is the romance between Oda and Sagara, so you can pretty much call this an action romance anime. Despite these people being war heroes, there are tons of tropes repeating. Just make sure to not be bored by them. Number 5, Love, Election, and Chocolate.
大丈夫？ゆうくん。ちちんぷいぷい。痛いのどんだけ。
As you guessed from the title, this has tons of love, tons of elections, and the people in this club eat a lot of chocolates. The plot is centralized around Yuki Ujima, who was a member of this high school's food research club. Their main club activity was eating snacks bought by the money allocated to the club by the school. I know, that's everyone's dream club. But their freedom to eat sweets is destroyed when Satsuki Shinome shows up as a major student council candidate that plans to eradicate clubs like the food research club.
はいはい。夢の結婚話はそのぐらいにして、そろそろヤオイボーの新作品評会始めましょう。
すいません。それじゃあいつも通り1番からお願いします。
Now, the love him or hate him duo in this anime series is Yuki and Satsuki, but to make things more interesting, we got the childhood friend too. I think that pretty much tells you where this show is heading. Number 4, They Are My Noble Masters.
ま、普通にやれば問題ないだろう。
頑張ります。ありがとうございます。
This is what happens when you're broke. This is very similar to Hayate the Combat Butler, but this time, this guy needs to manage a whole house full of girls. Our main character and his sister leave their home because of a family trouble, but find out that you need money to survive in this world. So they decide to work for the three sisters of the Kojumi family, and it turns out that isn't as great as they thought.
やっぱりこの家。
慣れ慣れしいな。神羅様と呼ぶがいい。
は？
This is one of those anime you can watch for some great entertainment, but not for a great story. Both the story and comedy here are pretty simple, and we've also got that good old maid, butler, master, servant relationship. If you want a fun, enjoyable anime to watch this winter while sitting on your couch, then this is the show for you. Number 3, Twin Star Exorcists.
マガノに行こう。
マガノに？
君の昨日の力、すごかった。
それがどうした？
ゆえに、プライドが傷ついた。
Here is another action romance show you must start watching if you haven't finished it yet. Twin Star Exorcist is about two short fellas going around killing spirits while trying to figure out how love works. If we keep aside the romance elements for a moment, you can see how much great action this show has. Add that to this nice animation and you get a masterpiece.
月は絶殺救急により治療。
The characters here are built on the usual anime tropes, but they are extremely likable. But what's more interesting than the characters are their interactions with each other. Sometimes it feels goofy, sometimes it's wholesome, and other times you're rooting for both of them. The show starts off pretty lighthearted and then takes some dark and twisted turns that make you wonder if the show was made for kids in the first place. But apart from that, I felt like Twin Star Exorcist held the supernatural elements of the show really well, and it's something you should definitely check out. Number 2, My Little Monster.
知らばっくれんな。てめえが今日学校行ったことは上がってんだよ。
それが何？
楽しかったかよ。
Okay, kids, don't get scared. There aren't any actual monsters in this show. This is the show that proves opposites attract. Here we have a girl who wants to study, and then pass exams, and a boy who doesn't care about studying at all. Then the teacher tells the smart girl to help out the bad boy, and after a couple of interactions, they realize they have a lot in common.
俺、雫がいるなら学校行ってみてもいい。
そりゃよかった。
なんかドキドキする。は？俺、雫が好きかも。
Another great fact is how these two kiss in the first episode itself. I mean, come on! Why does romance anime take several million years just to make the couple kiss each other? The anime is also very short and has only 13 episodes, which means you can watch this on a nice hot summer evening while feeling wholesome. Number 1, Vanitas no Carte.
ご褒美をあげなくてはな。
And number 1 on our list is a show about vampires. Because what's better than a vampire and a human who hate each other than love each other? Okay, let's see what we have here. We have vampires, pandemics, and a more perverted genre d'arc. Here, we have vampires who are killed by mysterious disease and a human doctor who plans to find a cure. The girl who wants to kill our doctor is actually a vampire herself, but once she tastes the blood of our main character, she becomes obsessed with him.
いけない。ほうけている暇はないわ。この茶番もあともう少しで終わる。私がちゃんと奴への好意を伝えきれれば。練習をしておこう。
I love the subtle romance in this show, but what makes it interesting than anything else is the effort the writers put into the plot and world building. The world and the political hierarchy of this world is fleshed out much bigger, and you can feel the whole story arc is progressing into something much bigger. If you haven't watched this anime, then go watch this right now, or I'll send Jane to suck out your blood.